Hello everyone, Sodius here and welcome to our weekly podcast. This week it's just me and Saint, as Josh couldn't make it. And
he ditched us, the son of a
he
bitch.
ditched us for alcohol. How dare he? I mean, I would do the same really, if I had a choice in the matter. This week's probably going to be a bit short. We're not feeling good. It's been a rough weekend. But how's your stuff been for you, Saint?
Pretty miserable. I almost had to work 12 days at my job. Fortunately, I was able to weasel my way out of it, but I'm gonna be working my 6th day in a row today. And
Really?
yeah, didn't get home till after 2 o'clock the last 2 nights due to work. So fun stuff.
Yeah, it's been a rough week. You actually been playing anything this week?
Gwent.
Yeah. How's that going for you?
I'm really enjoying it. Very fun game.
Do you think it holds a torch to, holds a candle to any of the other card games that are out?
I think some people are if people are coming from like Hearthstone or like your typical trading card game, you know what I mean, where it's more about interacting, like creatures interacting with each other and smacking your opponent in the face. That kind of goes out the window with this game. The idea of this game, even though some cards can target each other, the idea of this game is more having higher strength at the end of each round. Like whoever has the highest strength wins. Also, card advantage is really important in this game because you only draw at the beginning of each round. So, like in the very first round, you draw your starting hand, and that's all you have to work with. And then once that round is over, you draw 2 cards. And then once you go into the final round, you only get to draw 1 card. So
Okay.
not playing a lot of cards works to your advantage.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also got the code. I haven't played too much of the game, but I'm excited. I like that it's exactly like it was in The Witcher.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Anything else you've been playing this week other than that?
No, not really. Just a little bit of Hearthstone here and there. Oh, and Dead by Daylight, of course.
Of course.
I can't get away
What
from
have I
it.
been playing this week? I think this week I've just been playing Titanfall 2, and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which has really put me off. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare almost entirely put me off streaming. It gave me so many troubles, and it was just there's always something wrong, and it was just this like I just wanted to say F it, not streaming anymore. Screw this, not worth the hassle. But here I am, doing it again. That gave me nothing but it. In fact, it was so much hassle. There was so much wrong with bad frames, lag, just everything was so bad that I decided to fully upgrade my system. I have some AMD 8350 CPU right now. I have an NVIDIA 970. But now I've got an upgrade to a whole new motherboard. i7 CPU. I'm gonna 1080 graphics card and some DDR4 16GB RAM, and hopefully I can stream what I want to goddamn stream.
I mean,
I'm tired of having issues.
well, the biggest issue when it comes to streaming a lot of the times is your processor. So making sure that your processor is a good one.
That's the
like,
problem. There was
well
nowhere
above
to
average
really go from an 8350 unless I switched to Intel, and I couldn't switch to Intel because I had an AMD motherboard, so I had to get an Intel motherboard. And then on top of that, the new motherboard doesn't support DDR3 RAM, so I had to go and buy DDR4 RAM. Basically, in the end, I'm basically upgrading everything apart from my power supply, and yeah, that's about it. Fuck off, phone. So yeah, no, it's just been a right hell of a week. It really put me in a bad mood. But tomorrow, all the parts arrive, so providing I can actually get everything put in and set up and nothing goes wrong, I should be streaming again tomorrow night. So
in before bed,
really
sorts the
excited.
motherboard.
Yeah. You've gone and you jinxed me now. You just had to. I'm gonna if I ruin anything, I'm gonna be so sad. So much money. But yeah, that's what I've been playing this week. You know, new titles and all that lovely stuff. Plus side of getting these new parts is I'll also have access to Mafia 3 and Gears of War 4. Not really excited for either game, but hey, free game's a free game. Well, free game's a free game as long as you spend over $1,000 in computer parts. Anywho, let's get into the news for this week, shall we? I'm going to start off with something you might like here, Saint, because you're a big Hearthstone fan. During Blizz...
Arguably.
What was that? Trepidation I hear?
It's Hearthstone's been going down the shitter for a while.
Really?
Yeah,
I haven't noticed, don't play it.
Deck viability is like, alright. You can't, like, if you want a ladder and actually, like, climb at a relatively decent speed, you can't really play anything other than the top tier deck, which has been, like, ever since the beginning of Wrath of the Old Gods, has been some variation of Shaman has been, like, in the top tier. Like, and when I say some, for at one point in time before, like, they found the best version of Shaman, there were 3 different Shaman archetypes in the tier 1 slot.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, anyway, there's going to be a new expansion called The Streets of Gadgetzan, and it will be the 4th expansion released for Hearthstone and feature 132 new cards for you to play around with and build your decks. That really bores me, building decks. That's the main thing I hate about card games.
I love deck building. That's the best part about card games.
That's why I don't really play them too much. I always go for the standard decks and then I get screwed over every time because I'm lazy. But there's a fair bit of information about this, but you're going to have to forgive me if I miss most of it. Yeah, because I don't know much about the game itself. Apparently there's 3 crime families: the Grimy Goons, the Jade Lotus, and the Cabal. And apparently you can do stuff for them, though I don't know how that works in Hearthstone, and you can get some sort of bonus. Don't know if you know anything about that.
Honestly, I didn't read very much about it. I don't like the concept of the expansion very much. Like, we went from something epic like Wrath of the Old Gods to something cheesy like street gangs and stuff like that. Yeah, right.
It says they're going to introduce a brand new mechanic to Hearthstone: tri-class cards.
Yeah, where
each of the family has its unique tri-class cards which can be used only by the 3 classes in that family.
Yep.
Interesting.
So basically, it's a card that'll be able to be slotted into one of 3 decks.
Okay. Now, are all the expansions for Hearthstone free?
I mean, you have to buy card packs, but
yeah. Okay. Yeah, they have a bundle right now where you can get, I think it's 50 card packs for about £34.
Yep, that's about what it normally goes for.
Anywho.
That would be a huge thing if you like watching people open packs. You'll see some of the biggest Hearthstone streamers opening like 100 packs at a shot.
People watch that, huh?
Yep.
So yeah, that's coming in December, so you don't have long to wait for that. If anyone happens to be excited for that, I don't personally care.
Yeah, I'm looking more forward to Gwent right now.
Yeah.
It's just got so much more strategy in my opinion.
Do you know when Gwent's actually being released? I know it's in beta right now.
I don't think they have an I don't think there's an official release date yet. Maybe there's a month they're looking to release it, but I don't think there's like a solid release date yet.
Okay. Alright. Well, let's move on. I want to talk about Tomb Raider. Now, this isn't exactly something that comes up lately because it's been out for a little while now, but they had a recent event and they broke a world record for the most people dressed up in cosplay as Lara Croft in one room.
I don't think anybody's ever tried that. Like,
Yeah, I don't think that's ever
actively
really
tried to
been
do
done,
that.
so it's not really a hard thing to beat. But there were 270 Tomb Raiders in total, all ranging from really awesome cosplay to absolutely god awful. There were some pictures that were not pleasant whatsoever. But yeah, good on them. So Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix hosted the cosplay gathering at the Paris Games Week as part of the recent 20-year celebration of Tomb Raider.
I mean, I'm sure if anybody here's ever been to an anime convention, you will definitely see more than 260 of one person dressed up as
Yeah.
a specific individual.
Exactly. But no, good on them. That's cool. Apparently, it's all for a specific gaming version of the Guinness Book of World Records. I think that's the way it goes. Yeah. Which is cool. I used to collect the Guinness Books of World Records. I used to have like every single year, and then I stopped because I don't know why. There wasn't really much to do in that. But I would quite like to have a look at the games one to see what exactly what kind of world records are being broken in relation to games. It's quite interesting to me. So moving on, let's talk about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. As I've already had grief with this earlier on in the video.
I'm not gonna lie, it looks good. I
It
will say that. It
looks
is a
awesome.
good looking fucking game.
Yeah, we all know how it went when we saw the trailer at E3. It looks amazing. The campaign, I can tell you, honest to God, the single player campaign is great. It looks beautiful. It doesn't play so well when you're trying to stream, which is what I'm having issues with, but it looks amazing, and it doesn't feel like Call of Duty at all. You know, the whole space and that, actually being able to fly spaceships as well. So that's been a lot of
cool because
fun.
it seems to separate itself more from the like multiplayer run and gun aspect
Yeah.
of the game, which is nice because that's what a single player campaign like kind of should be in that rate. You know, it should be able to separate itself a little bit. I mean, when it all boils down to it, you're still shooting people, but you want to make it feel like less of a death match and, you know, mean something. You know what I mean?
Well, talking about the multiplayer aspect of it, so you brought this to my attention before the stream. If you bought the game through the Windows Store or a physical version of it, you cannot play with Steam users, even though it's on the same platform, which is really fucking weird and dumb. So quite clearly, the player base for online has essentially been split, and that has been causing some matchmaking issues. People only seem to really want to play
Yeah, well,
specific modes.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go with. The benefit, really, I mean, to me, like, you know, the people who like Team Deathmatch, they're still gonna get plenty of fill for that. But it's the guys who want to play the other game modes that it sucks for, because having those additional people in the game means you're gonna have, you know, a few more outliers that want to play those other game modes rather than Deathmatch. But now that your community is literally split in half, it makes it even harder for those outliers to find the games that they like.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just don't understand what could possibly be the benefit of doing this, apart from laziness.
There is no benefit.
It
all.
doesn't benefit anyone, and you know, it's very much against the consumer. It's, I don't know. I mean, granted, most people probably bought that game just so they can access the remastered edition of, what was it?
I think COD 4.
Yeah, I think. But terrible, terrible decision. Really bad. I can't believe they did that. I haven't personally played a single match of online yet. I've been focusing too much on the single player campaign and attempting to stream it. But it doesn't exactly strike me with confidence to go in and do multiplayer. I've been playing a lot of Titanfall 2 multiplayer and I'm having a blast with it. It has a really great progression system.
A lot of people are coining it as the best shooter of the year so far.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels really good. Now, I'm not a big fan of the Titanfall 2 campaign, which is funny. Seeing as this is the first time they actually really have a campaign.
Yeah, the problem with that is they built a strictly multiplayer game the first time around, and now I don't know. It's nice that it has a campaign mode, but I wish they would have taken more time with it. Because from what I'm gathering, it feels kind of just shoehorned in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it pretty much is. But the online aspect is incredible, a ton of fun. It feels really good, and I'm
Yeah, I heard the
really
gunplay in
excited
that
for
game's
that.
really fun because of like all of your like the movement and stuff you can do.
Yeah, you have this grappling hook which you can zoom towards buildings and such. You can run on walls. You can do a boost pack where you do this high jump, and it's just really nice, really fluid, and I'm really happy with what they've done with the multiplayer aspect. And I'm glad that people are saying that it's probably one of the best shooters. That's awesome.
Yeah, and you know it's funny. A lot of people, from what I've been hearing, are favoring the pilot mode where you play where you just play as pilots. There's no.
Yeah, I'm
Titans.
finding that too. I mean, you can have your Titan fight with you, like alongside you. You don't.
Well,
need,
there's
you
a
don't
there's a
have to
mode
be
where
in it.
you don't. No, there's a mode where there's.
Oh,
no
the
Titans.
only pilot mode. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is good. I mean, like being the pilot just feels really good this time around. They've done a fantastic job, and they're going in the right direction with adding the campaign. I'm sure people will enjoy the campaign, but for me, it's just not really my kind of thing. There was what it was there was a part in it where it turned into a sort of platformer, because there's a part there's going to be spoilers, so mute for 2 minutes if you don't want story spoilers for Titanfall 2 for whatever reason. But there's a part in it where you get this device on your wrist that allows you to go back and forth in time, because you're in this facility that has pockets of time. No. There's this facility that has pockets of time before this device exploded and then after, because it like caused some weird shit. So you press the device and you go back to when the facility was all new and if there's guards walking around and stuff. You press it again and you go to modern day where it's destroyed and there's like malfunctioning security robots and all this other wildlife from the planet that have moved in to this abandoned facility. But there was a part where they had all these platforms. I said like 4 platforms, and there's one's missing, and then there's another one, and another one's missing, and you have to switch back and forth in time as you're jumping, because then the platforms will appear. And that just it didn't feel like it was taking itself seriously when it tried to make itself a platformer rather than a sort of a shooting, sort of story campaign.
Well, it sounds like
for some reason that whole level was like, it just felt like a cheesy platformer. I really liked the traveling back and forth in time aspect. That was really cool. But yeah.
It seems like it didn't play to its strength in using its mobility and like wall jumps and stuff there, where it was just, rather than making it something interesting, they're just like, oh, just jump on this platform rather than maybe like, jump across walls to climb up.
Yeah, I mean,
to
they
the
do
top
have
or something
sections
like
similar
that.
to that, but just that one specific area, it really put me off. I'm sure the rest of it's going to be great, and I'll jump back into it once I've upgraded my rig and got all that out of the way first. But yeah, I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it too much. But switching back to Call of Duty, excellent campaign. Really loving it.
Good.
That's pretty much all I had to say about that.
I knew you'd like it. I called it.
Well, we all know how that all started with the trailer and you guys making fun of me. Now look, it's a good campaign. But a shit multiplayer. But yeah, I don't really have anything more this week. You got anything else you want to add? So what you said they're changing some things in World of Warcraft. They released some details on that. What's that all about?
I don't remember everything about it, but I know the stuff that I remember is we're going to be going to the Tomb of Sargeras by patch 7.2 something, which is also going to be when we go to
the Tomb of Sargeras. This is something I've been looking forward to since Warcraft 3.
And then we're going to be going from there to Argus, which is basically, the
home planet of the Burning Legion, so to speak.
Yep.
That is going to be... I'm so hyped for that. I hope they do it well.
The Karazhan the mini raid that they released for Karazhan is going to be getting heroic difficulty.
Alright.
Oh, they're going to be doing mini holiday events.
Oh, okay.
Like, they're going to have an AQ day where where Encourage becomes of importance again.
Oh,
They're adding Mista
okay.
Pandaria time walking dungeons.
Oh, interesting.
Can't remember everything else off the top of my head. I know they're increasing. I believe they're increasing artifact levels more. Like increasing. I think the cap of either the cap of the weapon or the actual artifact knowledge that you can get. I can't remember exactly. Yeah, so I can remember off the top of my head. I know there's more. I don't have like. There was a video that I watched of it, and I couldn't find anything of it in writing, which sucks.
Right.
So.
Well, I'm glad. I'm excited for new content. Obviously, there's been a bit of a lull right now. We've both sort of gone off the game for a bit, but when Legion released, it was really good. They did a good job, but there's always going to be a point where the content just stops because it's
For
just
me,
the
it
way
wasn't
it goes.
really the content, the lack of I wouldn't say there's a lack of content at all. There's plenty of stuff to do with world quests and stuff like that. It wasn't that for me though. It was more. I didn't like that so many things were locked behind rep grinds in this game.
Right.
In this particular one, like, I understand if you want to have like materials and like certain like recipes and stuff locked behind a rep grind, but gating you behind a certain reputation so that you can go to certain dungeons which are important to your campaign order hall and stuff like that was really stupid to me. So that was one thing that really put me off, and I don't know, after a while I couldn't find a class that I could sit down and really enjoy. Like, ever since they killed Fury Warrior, like the game just doesn't feel the same to me. I miss playing Fury Warrior a lot, and it's just not in a good spot.
I'm really curious to see where they go after Argus. I know I say this every time there's an expansion. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, I already know how this expansion's gonna end. So,
How do you think it's going to end?
the old gods coming. That's what the 5 pillars of creation are related to. We're gonna blow up those 5 pillars of creation, and then the old gods, or at least one of them, are going to show itself.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very curious to see where that leads. What else? I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's all I
It's
remember.
been a bit of a lull in news this week.
Oh, you wanted to? Did you mention the Diablo stuff?
Yeah, I haven't got all the information on this, but there's a new class coming to Diablo 3 called the Necromancer.
Well, an old class.
An old
being brought back
class
in.
from previous games is now coming
Yes.
to Diablo 3.
My favorite class, actually. So
Yeah,
I
the
might pick up
Necromancer, so that's
Diablo.
really cool. I'm excited to see new classes come to Diablo 3. There's a lot of people going, that's it? No expansion or anything? Like,
That is actually kind of disappointing, though. Like,
yeah.
I would rather.
But they're always
like,
sort
I
of
don't know.
working on stuff, like they released that new island. Wait, no, I'm pretty sure in my notes here I had something about there being a new area. Yeah, there's new areas. There's 2 new areas. There's the Shrouded Moors, there's a harsh, inhospitable land that was abandoned for centuries, and the Temple of the Firstborn, where an ancient monument to the earliest Nephilim. Seasons are coming to consoles also. I didn't know they weren't in consoles already. Yeah, the Necromancer will wield the power of the dead. You can master the dark arts, old skills and new, command army of the dead, blah blah blah. Obviously necromantic sets and legendaries. And there's also going to be a 20th anniversary dungeon. The original Diablo Labyrinth is back in Diablo 3 form.
There you go.
So that's cool. It's cool that they're bringing old stuff, you know, that people really liked, back to present day Diablo. I heard a rumor, although it doesn't say anywhere on the sheet or any of the information we got, that they announced they were remastering Diablo 1.
Announced in quotes, by the way.
Announced in quotes. I can't remember where I saw it. Someone was talking about it. And if so, that's pretty cool, but I wish they would remaster Diablo 2 instead, because that was by far the best Diablo.
Absolutely.
But, hey, they're doing stuff. You know, I'm happy they're doing stuff, and they're always doing stuff with Diablo
Next,
3.
we'll get a Warcraft 1 through 3 remaster. Right, guys?
I wouldn't be totally against that.
No, I actually.
I would really like to play through those stories again.
I'm against it because I want to see them focusing on new stuff and not remaking the old.
Fair enough.
At this point, like I'd rather see them putting the development time into, say, rather than them remaking Diablo.
So
1,
basically, if you
make
want
a new Diablo expansion,
basically
or
if you
make
want
Diablo 4, you know,
if you want something remastered to look more modern day graphics and whatnot, leave it to the modders. Let the modders sort that shit out.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, Skyrim Special Edition never needed to be released on PC.
It didn't need to be released on anything. It's so pointless.
Well, on console it did because it actually does help on console, but on PC
it looked far better before than it does now. And now the mods don't work.
No, that's what I'm saying. Though. You didn't. That's on PC. You didn't need to do it. On console, I can understand.
But saying that, if consoles got it, you know there's going to be people going, "Why don't we get it?" Even
yeah,
because
well, I mean, the people
research.
that are like, "Why don't we get it?" are pretty dumb because, you know, the original Skyrim works just
Granted,
fine.
we got it for free, so we can't complain. If you,
well, I mean, you got
the
it for
original
free
stand.
if you owned everything else before.
I just wish they would have. I don't know. I don't know the technical whatever they did to the game itself, but they've changed so much that the mods don't work full stop. You have to really tinker with them to get them working, which people are doing. But certain things like what's it called? Sky UI won't work because you need SKSE. I can't remember. A Skyrim script extender. The person who made that will not be updating it for Skyrim Remastered unless somebody else does it. So that cuts out a lot of really good mods and visual effects, which is kind of sad. But hey, what can you do? Also, there was a lot of audio bugs in the Remastered Edition, which I don't know if they've been fixed yet, but it's always something. It just wasn't necessary. With all the mods, it was never necessary.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's probably a good place to end it this week, don't you think?
Yeah, that's about it. That's really all we got.
Great. So thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry it's been a bit of a lull this week. We will be back throughout the week, streaming on this channel and streaming on our channels that you can see beneath our names, and probably posting some stuff on YouTube. And we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Laters.